Hey everybody, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. Happy Monday. Hope your week is off to a great start. We are discussing on trustnodes.com today how Ethereum actually holds 4 times more Bitcoin than the Lightning Network itself. It's an interesting little statistic that we'll be breaking down. We're then going to check out on cryptopolitan.com adoption topics because Ethereum addresses continue to surge despite some of the recent price struggles. USDT seemingly overnight has taken over the 3rd spot on the cryptocurrency market cap list. It's supplanted XRP and now sits behind only Bitcoin and Ethereum. And then let's get to the meat of the main story today on nairametrics.com. Did Satoshi Nakamoto cause the panic sell-off in the Bitcoin market? Forbes is also covering that exact same issue. Bitcoin's surprising sell-off. Is Satoshi calling out? We'll take a look at that. Let's first take a look at the markets today on CoinGecko.com. We're down a few percentage points, down 4.7% in these last 24 hours at $246.9 billion currently total market cap. We're down 4% in the case of Bitcoin. Other projects down a couple of percentage points, but unfortunately Bitcoin seems to have lost the most and is bleeding the most in this last day or so. It's currently sitting at $8,751 with a dominance that has also suffered 65.1%. We're here now on trustnodes.com where the claim is made Ethereum now holds 4 times more Bitcoin than the Lightning Network. So what's this all about? Well, it's because the amount of tokenized Bitcoin has suddenly jumped some fourfold from about 1,000 Bitcoins to somewhere near 4,000 as pictured in this graph here above. What's striking is that this is so much more than the Lightning Network, which really for years has been promoted as Bitcoin's solution to scalability, where just about 900 Bitcoin is stored. One of the problems for the Lightning Network is that it can't quite solve the double spending problem without practically requiring some intermediaries like trusted so-called watchtowers or liquidity providers, in addition to potential systemic issues that amount to the equivalent of a bank run if all try to close their channels at the same time while the Bitcoin network can't handle the spike in demand. And then you have the issue of WBTC wrapped Bitcoin, which we started discussing yesterday. Its biggest problem is either potentially a hack from external or internal rogue operators, or far less likely the somewhat established and fairly reputable custodians for some reason to go rogue. It's an interesting article here with some different suggestions and arguments as far as what to do and what kind of banking methodologies to implement in light of where we want to go in the future with this system of technologies. But in sum here, Lightning Network has a far steeper mountain to climb than WBTC, which for early adopters has its clear advantages and more numerous advantages, as well as the constantly proven risk of the safety of its custody, in as far as the longer they continue to show the Bitcoins are there, the more trusted presumably they become, even though theoretically the discovery of some flaw of the custody process isn't necessarily subject to the length of time, except perhaps by degree. In somewhat related news here, we're on cryptopolitan.com and we're discussing adoption because Ethereum addresses are continuing to surge despite some of the price struggles that we've just highlighted, down a few percentage points today alone, for example, in the market. So as the top cryptocurrency Bitcoin trades now below 9K, some digital currencies began showing less weakness in prices, with Ethereum barely rising. And amidst the price struggles that we're seeing, the second largest crypto still remains strong in terms of its network. So just this week, Ethereum addresses have hit a milestone of 40 million. That is the number, 40 million addresses. And as per Glassnode, according to them, this is very significant because the increased Ethereum addresses represent a 350% growth from the time Ethereum crypto reached its all-time high in the past 2 years. So forget about price, forget about market cap, but 350% growth. That's what that milestone of 40 million addresses meaning that we were somewhere in the sub 10 million range not that long ago, and again now 40 million. It's a great number. In addition, Glassnode points out that Ethereum addresses that hold at least 10 Ethereum also saw a huge increase and stable growth. The addresses now sum to 274,913, which is another all-time high and something to celebrate. You know the story, guys. An increase in the number of addresses is an increase in overall adoption, and so the growth of Ethereum addresses with at least 10 ETH is quite surprising, but in a good way, an indication indicates a steady adoption of the cryptocurrency. And here on Twitter, at Altcoin Buzz IO, pointing out the burr of crypto, i.e. the digital quantitative easing, I suppose. USDT is now the third largest cryptocurrency by market cap. We just skipped it over here earlier without even recognizing it. But as you can see, in spot number one, of course, you have Bitcoin, followed by Ethereum, followed by Tether, with a market cap currently of just over $9 billion. XRP sits behind it at 8.5. So Tether, USDT, just like that, has taken over the third market cap in terms of the cryptocurrency marketplace. Add your voice, guys, and your opinion to what others have had to say. Some people, as you can probably imagine, are not really fans of USDT for kind of more philosophical reasons, but nevertheless, let us know your thoughts about this. It is what it is. All we can do is report on it, whether we agree with it or not. But there it is. Stay tuned. Let's see if it climbs even further. I don't think it's going to surpass Ethereum anytime soon, but I think this is a bit of a milestone. Again, you can kind of take it as you will. Maybe you're happy about this, maybe not so much at all, but it is what it is. You got to acknowledge the fact that Tether now at number 3. Okay, let's get on to the main story of the day. We're on nairametrics.com. We're asking, did Satoshi Nakamoto cause the panic sell-off in the Bitcoin market? Because we went down to really as low as 8,750 as other digital coins recorded similar falls. So somewhere in the realm of a 5 to 10% loss, really right after halving, which was supposed to be something that we wanted to celebrate, but I guess not. What's important to note is that some people are saying the sell-off was triggered by some very old Bitcoin that really haven't moved in a while, but that were worth about $500,000. Now, of course, it took more than just those Bitcoin. However, it's interesting to note when you take a look at the digital forensics that really they haven't moved for years. So let's talk about Satoshi Nakamoto. You guys likely know that Bitcoin was created in 2008 by this so-called unidentified individual or perhaps group. They use the name, however, Satoshi Nakamoto. So just for context, I want to make sure that is the person that we're talking about. Quote, while it's unclear if it was Bitcoin's mysterious creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, it is likely to be a very early stage adopter of the crypto asset in terms of the person that initiated this sell-off. And the timing of the rumors themselves appear to be the source of yesterday's flash crash, eToro market analyst Adam Vitesi wrote in a note to investors. We're now sitting at the top of a long-standing wide range, the bottom of which could easily be $6,000 or even $4,000 per Bitcoin. Matty Greenspan wrote in a note adding that he thought there was a fair chance of the market turning around and blasting through 10K just as easily per Bitcoin. Forbes is also covering the issue here. Bitcoin's surprising sell-off. Is Satoshi cashing out? It's possible. It's unlikely, but anything is possible, right? This is all very speculative, but as I just mentioned, 40 Bitcoins, which were mined only a month after the cryptocurrency's origin in 2009, so a very long time ago, well, they changed hands for the first time, scaring investors who believe a handful of early whales, the anonymous Nakamoto and his inner circle, in other words, are sitting on billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. While it is unclear if it was Satoshi Nakamoto, it is very likely to be an early stage adopter of the crypto asset. Again, we are retreading Adam Vitesi's comments, his quote that he wrote yesterday to clients. However, don't despair. Not all insiders are shaken. Venture capital firm Andreessen Horowitz announced a $515 million crypto fund last month, envisions the possibility of a, quote, fourth crypto cycle soon that could send Bitcoin's price to new highs. And Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell's comments last weekend that, quote, we're not out of ammunition by a long shot, highlighted Bitcoin's value proposition for some who fear inflation during the ongoing economic crisis, and probably more importantly, the ongoing response that the Fed is issuing, which is just stimulus, which is printing money, quantitative easing. You guys know the deal. Let us know, guys, if you think it's Satoshi Nakamoto in the comments below. I think it's a little bit of sensationalism, to be honest. I don't think it's Nakamoto. I do think it's interesting, though, that really this Bitcoin remained dormant and wasn't touched for some 10 plus years. That is impressive. It doesn't mean it's Nakamoto, but interesting nonetheless. It's definitely from somebody, at least somebody in that inner circle. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, guys, but that about wraps it up for today, everybody. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell to receive notifications, guys, if you enjoyed today's video. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this Monday, of course, but have a great one, everybody, a great start to your week, and as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.